confirmed news of a daring attack today against the primary KPA supply depot in Montreux. Although the resistance suffered heavy losses, the mission was called a success. The courage and sacrifice of these men and women won't be forgotten.
Yeah, it won't be forgotten, except for the part where it never gets mentioned again, ever.
Throughout the occupation zone, the KPA has increased security and pressured civilians to identify resistance members. Citizens have disappeared in alarming numbers with reports of torture and execution. Some question the risks of rebellion. They fear reprisals, the boot to the door in the middle of the night. The price of our liberty has always been high. We must stand together now or not at all. This is the voice of freedom.
Stand together, people, come together now. Oh, hi, hello, back to the game. And, of course, the level has to open up with a shot of us staring at Rihanna's ass. Way to keep it classy, Chaos Studios.
Shit! It's stuck! Move!
Oh my god!
Oh, fuck!
Oh no! Not the NPCs! Please, oh god, anyone but the NPCs! Viewers, feel free to cry right now. I know this is an emotional moment that we are so connected to these characters.
No!
They killed them all.
No!
Those motherfuckers. Here's your badge back, old friend.
I can't believe they did this.
You hear that? We have to get out of Montrose.
Are we really just gonna leave it like this?
We have to go, now.
Yeah, come along now already, you stupid girl. Oh, letting your emotions get in the way. Ooh, boo-hoo, my best friend and mentor is dead. God, you're pathetic.
Yana, we have to go.
Actually, guys, before we go, there's one survivor I've got to check for. No. No goat farmer in sight. Rest in peace, Boone. Out of all the underdeveloped NPCs in this town, you had the most lines of dialogue.
This is Connor Morgan to all resistance cells. The Oasis is compromised. They've murdered Boone.
Connor.
Yep, gonna interrupt that for a second, pick up another newspaper clipping. Profile on Kim Jong-il, which there are some fun facts about him in this article. Granted, they're facts you can gather from watching the Vice documentaries about him or reading pretty much any article about him, but, you know, it's always good to be reminded that Kim Jong-il was a fucking crazy person.
It's Brooks. 718 found the safe house. Gunnison's got nowhere to go. What the hell is going on?
Meet us at the wall. We're getting out of here.
Connor, you're gonna have to be more specific than that. I'm literally surrounded by walls right now.
You okay?
I don't want to talk about it.
Now, you see, this is sort of an interesting moment in the game where Rihanna's character starts to change, and not for the better. In fact, her character starts to resemble the character whose character you'd least want your character to be like in character.
If we head down this street, it should be a straight shot to the wall.
I'm talking about Connor. She starts to become Connor. And hey, speaking of awkward transitions, here's where the level awkwardly transitions back into being an action game.
Ambush! RPG! Second floor!
Kill them all!
Oh, and hey, what do you know? Rihanna's transition to cold-blooded killing machine has already completely taken place. She's already saying kill them all when we are faced with Koreans. So that's great. That's just...
Bastards! Make them pay for what they did to Boone!
great. That's just great. Awesome. Oh boy. So as far as actual level design and gameplay go, this level is one of the shorter ones in the game, one of the most straightforward. There are no new mechanics here to be introduced. I mean, we've already established pretty much all of them. So yeah, just straightforward gunfights and taking cover. And if you eat a rocket, you die. Not much to say.
It's way too quiet. Just keep moving.
But, you know, I knew that going into this game, going into this LP, that the action set pieces are the least interesting part of the whole game. Sort of opposite of something like Call of Duty, where the action set pieces are the centerpiece of the game. So while this game is clearly chasing after Call of Duty, it misses some of the key features. It misses the point completely. you don't remember any of the action sequences in this game. None of them are memorable. The moments you remember are the story beats, the interactions between characters, and that's only because they're so goofy and so poorly written that they just stick in your brain in that regard. I'm pretty sure I've brought up this point before, and I'm sure that people in the thread and in the comments have brought this up, but if this game had actually stuck to its guns by giving you less along the lines of guns...
That's how you do it!
If it had incorporated elements of guerrilla warfare, it could have been a better game. Set pieces like this, which aren't too showy or flashy, they would have worked if you just didn't have enough ammo to go around. I mean, the tension would have come from that, but as it currently stands, giving you full magazines and your choice of all the weapons in the game, albeit there's not many, and if you should run out of ammo, you can just call in good old Goliath here to do all the work for you. Where's the tension? Where's the motivation to keep playing? Where's the challenge? And there's the biggest problem with this game.
Give me some cover!
Unless, of course, I said something earlier was the worst part of this game and then forgot that I said that, because that happens a lot in these LPs. I've begun to notice. This is the worst part of this game. No, this is. No, you idiot. Clearly this is the worst part of this game. It's a nasty habit. I've got to kick it.
One more down! Got him! Moving up! They've blocked the street! That's not gonna stop us! Stand back! The line's coming through!
As long as I keep on comparing this game to Call of Duty, this level in particular really reminds me of the Wolverines level from Modern Warfare 2. I mean, the whole game does, to be fair, because that level in Modern Warfare 2 deals with Russia invading America. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be visual themes that are similar here, us being in invaded America right now. But there are some level layout things in this level in particular that sort of feel like homage, or maybe just straight ripoff. I wouldn't put it past Chaos at this point. But this level, more than the others, just feels very similar in some very key ways.
He's down!
You know, I've also compared Goliath in this game to Honey Badger, also from Modern Warfare 2. And there are two levels in Modern Warfare 2 where you just follow Honey Badger around. In this game, I mean, the whole first half of the game... By the way, this is officially the halfway point of the game, this level. We're following Goliath around, more or less, and letting it do most of the work. And, you know, for what it's worth, those Honey Badger levels from Modern Warfare 2, probably the worst levels in that game.
Tough! Get Goliath back out there! We need that tank dead! Are you nuts? Goliath can't take a tank out head on! Then we'll flank it and hit it from the rear. Jacob, get out there and target that thing!
I've got your back! Let's go!
So, when you look at the list of elements that Homefront stole from Modern Warfare 2, and by the way, I'm just going to say stole from now on, not only is this one of the more obvious ones, but it's one of the least welcome and the most prevalent, and God, what a horrible decision to have Goliath play such an important role in this first half of the game. And miraculously, Connor's plan of having Goliath plow through a wall directly into the path where the tank's missiles would be firing somehow worked.
Leave it! No! Brianna, help me! We need to move on. I can fix this! We don't have time to waste. Hold this. I think I got it. Last rolling just there. Good. We're gonna need it. Let's go.
So you're not gonna put that fire out? You're just gonna toy around with the wires for 5 seconds and call it a day? Okay, alright, you're the tech expert here. What do I know, right?
We'll find a way. Nothing left for us here.
Connor, what's your ETA?
We're nearly there. I've been waiting to see that fucker fall since they laid the first brick.
Copy that. We're with you.
My God.
Payback for last night's raid. So, this is our fault.
Shut up, Hopper.
Yeah, Hopper, stop reminding us that we're all assholes here.
Gotta keep moving.
You know, looking at this though, I mean, it really is a bit excessive, don't you think? I mean, to be fair, so was us using the white phosphorus, but I mean, it looks like they're just killing everyone right now, destroying all of the buildings, all of the cities. You think there would be some value in these resources to them. I mean, otherwise they would have just destroyed us when they first invaded, wouldn't they?
This is pointless. Boom's dead. It's over.
It's not over. Boom left us a plan. The best way to honor him is to see it through. If we keep it together, we've got a chance of punching through the wall and catching up to the fuel trucks.
Sorry about that, just had to wait for a break in the dialogue. Here's another newspaper clipping for you. This one about Kim Jong-un. And am I the only one who's hoping he'll, like, out-crazy Kim Jong-il at some point? Just, like, for entertainment value, just so we have, like, more stories to read about him? Is that selfish of me? Wishing that an entire country can sink further into depression just so we can laugh at their dictator? That's probably a bit selfish. Moving right along then, this level does a really poor job of breaking up the action, as you probably noticed by now. There's not much of it either. That's sort of inexcusable. Almost as inexcusable as my AI partner's pathfinding here. Jesus, hurry up, Connor.
Looking for Brooks. He's in the back.
Now, we're about to see a few wounded soldiers coming up, and I just want you to pay attention to the fact that none of them have any bloodstains or visible injuries, because that would have taken work to texture and model.
What's the situation?
We're pinned at the wall, taking heavy casualties.
What about reinforcements?
I wouldn't count on it. KPA's been burning civilian settlements, killing everyone in sight. The few that did survive grabbed all the C4 that we had stashed.
The opposition?
RPG teams, a bunch of KPA regulars backing them up.
Right. We're gonna make Goliath our mule. What? Hopper, you and Rihanna strap as much C4 to his chassis as he can carry. Jacobs, you're with me. We're gonna clear Goliath the path to the wall.
Now, for some reason, JP and the gang here keep talking even though we're supposed to be moving. And it's nothing important, it's just military tactics jargon.
There's a series of roadblocks between us and the wall. We need to lower them for our bomb to roll through.
Oh, by the way, you should rewind and watch Connor slide in the frame there if you didn't notice it the first time, because it's pretty good stuff. The subtitles are still going for that conversation, by the way, the one that we're at least a couple hundred feet away from at this point, that we couldn't possibly hear over all this gunfire. You know, for where they're positioned on the screen and just the way they're presented, they're pretty distracting, subtitles in this game.
One down, one to go. Push up! We have to hold the intersection. Find some high ground and cover me.
Now, Connor asks for cover here, but I'm pretty sure he's invincible. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the primary characters are never not invincible over the course of the game, so they can fend for themselves. They can do all the work by themselves if need be. Which is nice, because it gives us time to catch up on the latest news from 2017. You know, that's the thing about these newspaper collectibles. They're all post-dated, like, over a decade ago in terms of the game. A lot of old newspapers lying around. You think that you'd be seeing some more recent stuff lying around the ground. That the older papers would have been lost to the elements, to rain and wind. Or that the Koreans would have had us clean up the city, you know, get rid of the litter or what have you. But no, they couldn't find a more efficient way to dole out backstory, or they couldn't come up with a more original collectible, so in go the newspapers.
Barricade controls are on the other side of the checkpoint. We can't get to them from here. They're dug in. We gotta go around.
Sorry if I don't have much to say, but not much to say here.
Come on, through the White Castle.
Oh, hey, what do you know? Another White Castle. And yep, inside looks just about the same as the first White Castle we ventured inside of, which looked pretty goddamn similar to the Hooters we went inside of. If not for the sign outside, could you tell the difference between the White Castle and the Hooters in this game? No, of course you couldn't, because it reuses, like, the same assets. They made no effort here to make it actually look like the restaurant chain in question. And here's another breach sequence coming up. I've got some opinions on breach sequences. which, since this is going in slow motion, I have plenty of time to talk about. The slow motion gimmick doesn't do anything for me. And it removes any sense of challenge from these things too. I mean, when was the last time you had difficulty with the breach sequence in the game? So at the end of the day, they're just here for dramatic effect, but it always falls flat for me. So our objective here is to activate these barriers so we can clear a path for Goliath, but of course there are snipers with rocket launchers, and if you are like me and you just want to end this level as quickly as humanly possible, you'll ignore them and just try to press the buttons without paying attention to what's going on around you.
Jacob, you get the door. I got your six.
Unfortunately, the consequence for that is quite dire indeed. We have to do this fucking breach sequence again. Let's try and have a little fun with it, why don't we?
I'll hold them here. Get out there and lower that last roadblock.
Well, that's pretty much breach sequences in a nutshell then. By the way, if you enjoyed that last sequence, check out Medal of Honor Warfighter. Jam-packed with hours of door-kicking down action, including a level-up system centered entirely around breaching mechanics. On store shelves now, or through EA's Origin digital distribution service. So I'm just about officially out of things to say about the gunfights in this game. The sniper rifle, it's a good thing we have it. It kills people in one hit. That's nice. Wish I was better with these fucking things. The strategy here, if you want to call it that, is obviously to hang back and pick them off one by one. You know, I guess it's sort of worth mentioning that we don't have Goliath's laser designator right now. I mean, we're still clearing a path for it, with the intent of blowing it up, using it to take down the wall.
That's it. Rihanna, the path is clear as it's gonna get. How's our mule?
Goliath's packed to the gills with C4. We're heading your way.
You know, I think the game wants us to think of Goliath as an actual character, like we're supposed to have some sort of emotional connection to it by this point. I mean, we're seeing it get blowed up in the same level where we see Boone dead and in a city being set ablaze. I think we're supposed to, like, feel bad about this. But I don't. Damn, there's a pair for my frag video. Check it out, Homefront Frags Reel, coming soon. But I digress. This moment, it's not about us. It's not about the player character. It's about Goliath. So please, let us all observe its final, glorious moments.
Goliath is nearly there. We've only got one shot at this. On my mark.
It worked! The wall's open!
That's it now. Goliath's gone. It served its purpose, Hop. It got us out of this town. Now let's get the hell out of here. Everyone downstairs.
No, life without Goliath isn't worth living. I just want to jump off this building and end it all. Well, since that's apparently out of the question, I guess the next best thing is to carry its memory or some shit.
Jacobs, you're on the gun.
And just in case you were worried that the game was gonna stop holding our hands or take away the training wheels, bam, turret sequence. Just a friendly little reminder that when the going gets tough, the game will give you all the firepower you could ever possibly need.
More of them on the other side. We're going straight through.
You know, it's around this time that I start to wonder, did we really need to blow up Goliath? I mean, couldn't we have just put the C4 directly on the wall and then remotely detonated it? Did no one ever try that? Just some food for thought, folks.
Holy shit, we made it. So, where are we headed? West on 50 into Utah. We gotta get to the survivalist farm and get that helicopter. It's the only way we'll catch those tankers.
Well, that takes care of that. Shortest level in the game, official halfway point. Boone and Goliath are both dead. But more importantly than that, did I mention this is the halfway point of the game? I mean, fuck it, we're 2 hours into the game at this point, and that's the halfway point. It's the 4-hour campaign. How fucking crazy is that? R.I.P. Goliath, R.I.P. And Boone, too, and all those other people in the village, I guess. To say we hardly knew ye would be an understatement.